Lansing, or at least downtown East Lansing, has burned down yet. And you might think I'm joking, but I kind of am not. Michigan State lost the Final Four tournament. They got beat pretty bad. They did not play good at all. I watched bits and pieces of it. It started off really good and got depressing as time went on. But, so the deal with that somewhat joke that I just threw out there is that whether Michigan State wins or loses doesn't matter, because there's always couch burning and car tipping and tear gas. I mean, that's just the way that it is. I don't know what exactly it is about MSU campus and their desire to riot when State wins something big, riot when State loses something big. It's just one of those things, and it's always in the news. And it's I can remember. It's funny. I remember when I was probably let's see. This was back in I think it was 04, maybe 05. I think it was 04. Michigan State, I think, had gone to the Final Four, or they had gone up there quite a bit. I don't remember exactly if it was basketball. It had to have been basketball because it was still warm out. But I can remember they lost a big game, and I one of my buddies from high school. We were all into CB radios and scanners and so on, and he wanted to become a cop really bad, so we decided that we would drive down through campus when the riots were starting. And this was famously something that happened, still is actually. So we got in his Crown Vic. He had a white Crown Vic. It was a former police car that he drove around. I don't know if it was the car that made him think he was a cop at the time, or wanted to be a cop at the time, or what, I don't know. But anyway, so I remember us driving down through campus. He was with his girlfriend. I was single at the time. And I just remember feeling like it was the end of the world, and he did too. I mean, he's a big, tough guy, and him and his girlfriend are like, man, this was the biggest mistake we ever made. And I was in the back seat thinking that death awaits, like the whole town was coming down. And I know that sounds like I'm exaggerating, but when you're in the middle of a situation where you're driving down through campus and you see things on fire, couches, chairs, and you see cars that are literally tipped over, and you see groups of students tipping things over, taking down street lamps, climbing street lamps, taking them down, taunting. I mean, you know, you'd come to a stop sign here and there, and they'd be into the road taunting you, and I remember one of them kicked Adam's car, and it was just a complete riot. And there really wasn't that much traffic, but the traffic that was rolling through there couldn't do anything because everything was blocked up by everybody in the streets. And we actually witnessed tear gas being deployed, and we could smell it. And we were in the car, we had the windows up, and we were just in the vicinity of this tear gas. And I had never experienced tear gas before in my life. But I remember sitting there, and it was just like, it's like a sudden onset of a really bad cold hit. My eyes started to water, and my nose started to get really stuffy, and we were just on the outskirts of what, I mean, we were just taking in just a little bit of this tear gas, not even where the crowd's taking in. So I can't imagine what it's like to be in the middle of a tear gas bullet, or whatever they call that, canister. I can't imagine what it'd be like to inhale that much of a concentrated dose of it, where we were just getting kind of the afterthoughts of it. And Adam was driving, and I was thinking to myself, man, can he even see to get out of this crap? It was, overall, it was pretty frightening. And I just remember thinking to myself, you know what, I'm never ever going to go anywhere near campus after a big win or a big loss ever again. When Michigan State won the Rose Bowl in football here last year, they counted like 15 or 16 couches that had been burned. There was a lady's, a student's car that was tipped over upside down, and there was a crowdfunding campaign for her to get her car replaced because it was pretty much totaled. And they arrested, I think, 18 or 19 different students. Because now, in the days of social media, when everybody has cell phones with cameras and so on, it was pretty easy to identify who was doing this because, oh, would you look at that? I can't tell. Okay. I was gonna say, I don't know if they're blocking traffic going into East Lansing, because that's actually pretty common. It doesn't look like he was. It looks like they were pulled in the parking lot. But anyways. So yeah, scary stuff. Scary memories. Fun, scary at the same time.